Okay, so that was fun. If you're joining, we tried a new thing. We tried to do a Discord live and it did not work out. We need more information. So if anyone knows anything about Discord live, like how to do recording of the videos and that mostly, let me know or let Desi know. That would be really helpful. That'd be very, very helpful. Hi, everyone. We're going to do our Definitely Readers book club tonight. Desi from Definitely Novel Life is joining now. Ooh, that's tiny. Desi is joining from Definitely Novel Life. We're discussing.
You hear me?
Oops. Just by Alison Stine. It is a book, so the author herself is hard of hearing. It is a book that has 2 deaf and hard of hearing characters, and we are from the Definitely Readers book club. You can find us the normal places, the link in our bio, but also we have a website. It's www.DEAFinitlyReaders.com, so DEAFinitly readers.com, and there is links to Fable and Discord. We did try today to do the Discord server for the live. That did not work. So if you know anything about Discord and doing a live there, I don't have like the stage live, and maybe that's why. I don't know. It was very, very stressful. Maybe I'm gonna put it down here. Can you see my hands still? It's fine. I didn't like it on my head. But if it's smaller, then that means no one can read it. Huh, it's fine. Sorry, I am eating and signing at the same time. That is a deaf culture thing, but I needed a snack. And it's frozen pineapples, freezer dried, right? Fresh frozen pineapple. Okay, I'm gonna post really quickly on my Instagram story because I had posted there. So Desi can welcome you. This will be no voicing for a minute. Chopping something? I love raspberries. One of my favorite too. I love anything like raspberry ice cream, or let's be rude, I'm not going to spelling, raspberry pie, all of that. One of my favorites too. Ooh, pomegranate is really good too. One of my favorites. It's not as healthy, but it's the pomegranate chocolate, like snacks. But I think it also has goji berries with that. And it's so good. I only get them at Christmas. My husband gets them for me. Anyway, hi. So, okay, we're gonna start late. It's fine because we did try Discord. Is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And obviously it did not work out. It worked, but it was just not smooth and working. And if you know how to make it that way, let us know, please. I don't know. Exactly. We need. No, yeah, it's sad, unfortunately. It wasn't what we needed, right? Okay, so tonight, TikTok Live, we are discussing chapters 14 to 19. 14 to 19 on Discord. Oh well, I read through chapter 20 anyway. Do you want to catch everybody where we are or just go on? Whew. Okay, so where we left off last week was I lost my train of thought. Hang on. So, they live in Colorado, and they're from Ohio. They moved because of her dad had a dream that I want to have this land and have a farm, and we're going to live great there, a great life there. So they moved, but they're very isolated family. And so the mom, so Thea is hard of hearing, but she's not supposed to tell anyone she is deaf or hard of hearing, and she says she's hearing. She does not know anything about ASL or deaf community or culture, nothing. She's only struggled. And her dad pulled her both of the girls out of school. She has a sister, both girls out of school, and did unschooling. So they're doing farm work, but now she has a job at a cafe. And people she is meeting are there, and they're helping her to have access to the library. She doesn't have internet at home. She is not allowed to have internet. She is not allowed to have books. She is not allowed to have all these things. So people there that she's meeting are helping her have access, and she meets a boy who is deaf. And he is going to help her learn sign. And now, I think last week we left off that was this week. Chapter 14. Chapter 14, the dust wall was coming. And then the locust, the bugs, the locust, they got all over half of their crops in the town. So that was where we left off last week. Yes. No, I think the only thing that I would add is that she is very, very isolated, and her dad seems like fundamentalist. I misspelled that really bad. I had a pop-up. Some person not commented, but messaged me about Discord, and so I was reading that. I was distracted, sorry. Okay. Oh, true. So Heather says she had no idea what era it was set in because of the way that both the talking and then like how her dad is. Well, earlier she mentioned about the pandemic. Yeah, that happened, and that made it sound like all over again is happening again, that kind of thing. But so 2020, and then it like they had the waters flood, and then so like how many years has passed, right? Like I'm a little bit confused. They did talk they talked about phones, like cell phones. Talked about internet and email. But the way that they're dealing is, I think it is more of older ways because of the pandemic. And so it seems like technology is not the best now. Like it changed, maybe. I don't know. And I was like, the more that I was reading, Thea is commenting she never knew ASL, she never knew about deaf culture or the community, and I understand that. Parents withheld that information from her. But at the same time, I was like, really? You didn't know anything? A little bit? Nothing? Ohio? You lived in Ohio? And you grew up there and nothing? If you don't have a deaf or hard of hearing person around, you're not going to really know. You're not going to go searching for information. And she was out of school pretty early. And like, if she was always told to keep quiet, she's not going to go searching at her school's library for information about people who have like hearing loss. I think that she would be scared that she would get in trouble, or another person would see what she's searching for on the internet. And so maybe that's why she didn't like look. And then they were outside and they had a farm in Ohio. So I really don't, it seems like it's set a long time ago. But at the same time, it seems like almost like it's set in today's time. It's a little bit confusing. And you don't have an inkling of information, oh, I wonder about, but not have a deep understanding or knowledge about it. You don't have like, maybe she saw a flyer about a deaf, but there's many advertisements that say, oh, I have silent dinner, and maybe not in that town. There are towns that don't have anything to do with deaf events or anything like that. If you remember, I think it was mentioned at the very beginning that the only person she saw who was deaf or hard of hearing was old. Like no person her age. Yeah, but they're old deaf people that sound, no. Not, okay. I understand. It's not really, it's probably not realistic, right? Realistic. That she's never seen an older deaf person sign or seen a flyer. Like, I understand that. But how it was written she has no idea. She's very, very naive too. And recently it seems like she's just now starting to learn and think for herself. Before that, it like she noticed that her dad, yeah, and speaking of too, like she noticed that her dad was like, she didn't agree that, you know, he was taking, not stealing, but he was taking her. That was actually a quote that I was like, she didn't realize that what he was like taking from her was like increasing until she had nothing left. 1 minute. So there's a lot of comments. Hang on 1 second. Hi, Stacy. We are discussing Dust by Alison Stine. We're on chapters 14 to 19. This is a deaf ASL book club. Shonda said, like many world, maybe. So how she grew up, there was no deaf mentors, not to learn ASL later growing up. Yeah. Carrie, me, did not have it until later too. Yeah. I didn't have access to ASL until college. Oh, a mini apocalypse. Oh, okay. Practicing meaning they were probably told her that she would not be able to speak. Ah, yeah, that is so true in real life too, because many people say kids are deaf. You must teach them to speak oralism at home. Do not sign, speak only. I hate it. I hate that comment. So I don't think she said, you didn't say I hate that comment, but you hate that kind of comment. You must, okay. The doctors, yeah. I hate when doctors or people say you must speak at home. Whatever. If you teach ASL, you will, yeah, deprive them of language, of English, of the English language, which is not true. I noticed a comment. Everything is run by Deaf Culture Center. That kind of thing. So a comment from earlier, we're trying to catch up on comments. So Heather is our mod here, so she's answering some of them for us, which thank you, Heather. It was very helpful. But Abby said she is trying to practice ASL because she's learning ASL, and if we had any tips for that. So we do have in both of our websites, and the link is in our bio, we both have resources, not resources, that's research, resources there of where you can go to do, where you can go to practice. So there's on Facebook, there is ASL Buddies, right? and there's fingerspelling.net. So we have some resources in our bios of where you can go to practice. Also, technically, we have on the Discord, like we have the Discord server. If there's a voice channel where you can go on video, we've allowed the video, so you can go there, and if anyone is online, you can practice. And sometimes if I'm free, I will hop in, or if Desi's free, she will hop in. Just depends on the time. We both have kids, and or we're working, so when we have time for free, we will absolutely join with that. Did we finish catching up on the comments? I'm trying to make sure. Oh, thank you, Heather, for that comment about Facebook group ASL practice buddies, that you mentioned that one. I didn't say practice because I forgot practice, but I said ASL buddies, but it's practice buddies. ASL practice buddies. Yeah. Sorry, my brain is a little bit tired. Okay, so if you have the book, the page is 193, and we're talking about Thea. She is the female main character who is deaf, and we're talking about just the chapters. Anyway, this one part was where we were leaving off, and says what I could do was slowly, Desi, how would you say this? Like taken away. Like it's not stealed, but like taken, like take doesn't make sense. Like removed, thrown out. So yeah, so she took from me, or 193. Yeah. I went to 93. Yes, so there are some good apps. I'm not saying that, yes, I agree with Heather on that. Okay, Desi's gonna, what I could do was slowly taken away. You can't do it anymore, yeah. So do you want to sign that part? Like, do you wanna sign that quote, that like paragraph? Yeah, what I could do, yeah. So let's back up. So she was talking about her life at home in Ohio, right? So what she could do was like freely, but now it is slowly taken away. So she can't do all of these things. So what I could do was slowly taken away. Playing in the creek, riding bikes, playing at all, replaced by work, learning the chores that weighed my mom down, heavy as another child strapped to her back. It was slow at first, so slow, I might have never noticed it. Day to day, how the restrictions built. So that part, especially right now, it's almost like a prison to her, yeah. So, like, that part, like, how the, like, restrictions just built kind of thing, like, like, and she said it was slow, but she noticed. Anyway, that part just, like, really hit me today with everything that's happening politically, but we don't have to discuss that. Okay. I didn't like that either because she was talking more deeply. She is talking about how she had to change what she was wearing. So she now has to wear a dress, only a dress. She can't wear jeans. She can't play in the dirt. She has to be prim and proper. And her dad said, you have to make good first impression, not how I want you to behave. People are looking at you, wanting you to fail, waiting for you to fail. So she was just like thinking about like what he said, like meaning me because I'm deaf, because people already know I'm deaf. If people know that I'm deaf, that means that she will have to have people look at her and be watching her. Yeah. I was going to say just look at the page before because it was talking about that part where, she had to change and her dad first started making her change because he says you have to make a good impression. And I'm like, she's deaf. And he refused to say the word because you're new. You're new. He won't say deaf, hard of hearing, or disabled. Like, come on. Anyways. I really don't like the father character. I hate him every chapter. I just keep reading through it and I hate, and it just keeps building. And you're supposed to hate the father character. Not saying that it's not how some people really act, because they do. You wouldn't have all the people saying that they have the same experience with their parents about like hiding like who they are, like if they're deaf, hard of hearing, or if they're not, if they're part of a marginalized community, yeah, they're just like, you're hiding yourself, you're changing who you are. Her name is Amalthea and her sister's name is Amelia, and she couldn't hear Amalthea. I think I'm saying it right. I think it's Greek. It seems like it's a Greek name. But she couldn't hear the difference. Yeah, she couldn't hear the difference of her name or her sister's name. And so they changed her name to be Thea. And they shortened it. And that really hit me. It probably doesn't make sense, but I know my name through specific people like my mom or my husband or children who call me mom. And I can see mom doing the easy lip reading. So if I'm have my hearing aids in, if someone says Desiree or Desi, if I know the person, I can hear it. So she couldn't hear her own family speaking, which I understand 50-50 about that, but at the same time, I feel she had to change her name to accommodate them, not them accommodating you. Why don't they learn sign? They could give her sign name. So Hope said you should never have to change you. Like they should have changed. And yeah. It is a beautiful name. So when I was growing up, and I have hearing aids, but I had no access to sign or the deaf community before I before I left my house. Like, anyway, college is when I got the access. But before that, I couldn't hear my name with my parents. Anything that sounded like my name, I would respond to. I have two sisters. Both names start with K, too. So I would just respond because I would be trying to listen to the K or to the IE like ending. So my dad had friends I had an aunt whose name was Terry. I had a cousin whose name was Tara and Sarah, and I answered every time. It did not matter. And my dad had friends who names were Gary, and so it didn't matter. I just responded to every name said because I got in trouble before that for not responding to a name. And so I just responded to every name. Now, if I was reading and I was immersed in the reading, maybe I didn't respond because I was just so focused on reading. So I'm curious. I'm going to give a little background about me. Is this related to what my point is? So I have a brother who's an older brother, so we're 12 years apart. He's hearing, and he did not live with my mom. He was gone. He was on his own at 17, 18. So I was the only one, and mom was taking care of me. I was like an only child. So you lived with two other sisters. And so yeah, it was easy with my mom just only having one. I could hear my mom and I could recognize my mom's voice sometimes. So you had to recognize 5 different voices. Yeah, so it's very different. My kids I have 3 children. They all have the same A names. They're all hearing, but I'm always curious. It's the same idea. Hearing have the similar names or A sounds will know that they're their own. So, and I have 2 kids and they're not the same sounding name, an H and an E. They're very different. And I did that on purpose because and I noticed it before, like with my cousins whose names were Tara and Sarah. They're not the same. They have an S and a T, but the ending was the same sound. It was an A. So they would both answer, and they're both hearing. So similar names you're going to answer because it sounds close enough. And like my grandmother would call like all our names, like trying to figure out who she really wants, Same as my mom, like with all 3 of us girls. But I specifically did not want to have similar sounding names, H and E, very different. So you can clearly understand who I am asking for. Now, do I mix up my kids and call the wrong one? Yeah. but it doesn't, like, my daughter doesn't answer for my son's name because they're very different. So that's interesting. I did not think about that when I had the kids. Oh, okay, this one. I like this name. It did not matter. This name matches you. We're done. But I didn't think about the sound. Why would you? You're fully deaf. Like, and I grew up struggling with that. Honestly, the only thing I thought about was writing and finger spelling. True. Yeah. My kids' names. So I tried that too. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. I didn't think about speaking the speaking name, but now I'm like, oh, most of my time I'm like yelling at me. I'm like, huh, huh. And I mean, no, whatever. So I call them A1, A2, and A3. That's fine. So I did the finger spelling to make sure I liked like how it looked and how easy it was to finger spell their name. But also I remembered like growing up and like the struggle with having the same name. And then all my nieces and nephews have a name that starts with M. All 5 on my family's side. They all start with M. So and most of them answer to any M name. So I was like, we're gonna step back. We're not gonna do the same letter. The middle name is easy too. Sorry, we got a little off track a little bit. We're brainstorming Thea's perspective as a deaf person and a hearing person. So Thea is talking about she had to change her name because of her sister's name is similar. And she struggled lip reading and hearing her name. So she changed it to Thea. And now, is that what she really wants? Maybe. But she had to accommodate them. That line pissed me off. My Southern voice. Oh, I don't think I'm Southern enough for that. I just did a really deep voice. I felt it. So that pissed me off because many times, often experience, I have to accommodate people. And so it's so exhausting. It's like, you need to switch. You need to accommodate us. I feel awful for her at that point. I'm gonna look for my favorite quotes. Okay, so I did really like so these chapters were a little bit more of like the background of like where she's from in Ohio, the noticing of the change of the dad, like slowly through time, like it was like building up until they moved. But there is one part that I really connected with, and it's talking about the differences between hearing and deaf. And I actually made a video about it today. But on page 175, so we're going to go back just a little bit. So it's talking about how easy the hearing can have it. It says the easy ways of the hearing and how they could just know. They could hear enough to anticipate and guess. and enough not to feel left out. So every conversation always included them, even the ones that did not. They were spies, hearing people, lurking around corners, always figuring things out. So that chapter, I think this is chapter 15, is mostly, it was a few times like in the chapter that is discussing like differences between hearing and deaf. Like Thea, like she can't hear enough to guess what they're saying. Like she can't feel included. And like her sister comes like into the kitchen and already knows what her mom was talking about because she heard her in a different room, or heard enough in a different room. And Thea felt, yeah. There was another part that said, my mom, is connected with the hearing. My mom pretended that she had not heard my sister. The hearing could do that, choose whether or not they wanted to respond. That. Okay. Yes, hope. Not having like the situational, like that part. Whoo. Yeah. Needing to understand people's moods. So funny. So funny story. Today I FaceTimed. Funny story. Today I FaceTime a friend and I said, hey, you can say no. And I'm not signing. Like, it's with Katie. I'm not signing. But I FaceTimed because I needed to see her face to like, would she be upset if I asked this for her to do, or would she not be? Like, because I could text, you can't, it's easy to misunderstand on a text message. And then on a normal phone call, I can't see the faces. So I have no idea, like the tone, like I can't hear the tone of voice. I might be able to understand with my hearing aids what you're saying on the phone, maybe, depending on my area, like, but I like FaceTimed her and I was like, and she goes, I don't know, I will see if I have time. And I said, okay, that's all I wanted. And she goes, do you need me now? And I was like, no, I just needed to see your expressions. I needed to see your expressions when I asked. Okay, thank you. Okay, now you can go ahead. I found several quotes that really touched me in these chapters. When Thea comments about Ohio before they're moving and they're explaining and then they move and everything changed, it changed really fast. Her sister Amelia noticed that she changed quickly. Very obviously. Why? She's coughing, she's becoming sicker because of the dust, and it's affecting her. So they're discussing with their dad. She said, page 186. Okay. She said, at what point do you give up? When you and mom say this is enough and we move on to plan B. And he's explaining this is plan B. We moved here. This is plan B. She says, what do you mean? the life at home in Ohio at school, that's not real life. That is a waste of time. So we moved to the farm to focus on these things. And I was just like, and then she comments as an inner comment, what makes his dreams more important than mine? Why? We all listen. Hang on. We all listened, packed up our lives, and moved here because something that came to him. Could something come to me? Would he even consider that? What makes his dreams more important than mine? That part, yes. I can see a different perspective, a parent perspective. She's 16. She's not technically old enough to be like on her own. So yeah, normally you follow your parents, your mom and your dad, or whatever kind of parents you have. Like you follow and move with them if they decide to move. So I can see a little bit of the dad's perspective that, like, I have a dream and I want to do this. Do I think it's right what he's done, and that he's not allowing for internet, he's not allowing for the kids to have friends, to leave the house, like to go into the community and meet people? Like, is he wrong for that? Yes. Yes. But I do feel like he's doing everything the wrong way. Yeah. I do feel like the dad does like put his dreams are more important than anyone's. It means the mother is Amelia is quiet, and the mother, they're all following too. So they don't, basically, they're just oppressed. Their light is dimmed. Oh, well, my dream is more important than yours, and yours. And it's all three of them too. So I feel like the mom is very dismissive. Oh, you gotta listen to your father. You gotta ask your father. Oh, your father will be upset. Oh, he won't like that. He's had enough going on right now. He's very stressed. He's very overwhelmed. Do we want me to add more stress? Yeah. So another quote. This is Sadie. She's been joining me recently on my reading times together. She's been sitting on my lap reading with me. Hi. Especially give up everything for him. Yeah, expected to give up everything for him. Okay. So the other. She is thinking to herself. She said, my parents always had to dance around it. That makes me feel like there's something shameful about my body. It's talking about her hearing loss and not able to do all of these things, and she's keeping it secret. She's not informing people that she's deaf or hard of hearing, that kind of thing. And I was just like, hi. So I'm going to back up. The point is, these chapters, last week she went to help some people within the community, and fix some things. She chopped some wood. And then that was with Sam and Ray. Sam is the great uncle of Ray. Ray is Deaf Boy. He is the same age. It's very smitten with each other. Thank you. Okay. Beep, beep. So she is meeting some people and talking with the community, and they gave her a little bit of, she got a prism. And her boss from work is just like, help giving her access to the library. She got a book. She got 2 books. Well, we found out later she got 2 books. Because originally they said only the book about the Dust Bowl. Thank you. Can you move, please? She was worried about how to hide them, and so she gave her sister the prism, and then later her sister hid, and then she hid the book. But later her sister found a letter from Patience, the young girl that Thea met. From where it was another outreach in the community where there was kids, and I have a sister your same age, and the girl was like, oh, cool. And she wrote her something to give to your sister, please. I want her to have a new friend. And so she hid it. She didn't give it to her sister. She hid it. We have laundry day, and they're washing everything. And her sister found. And she goes, what is this? Who is Patience? And she's like, no. And her mom heard. And she goes, what is this? She opens it, and she's like, who's that? Not me. And then Thea told her a little bit more of the honest, like being honest and what she's been doing. And then her dad finds out. No, her mom found the other things. She went into the room and searched the room and found the book and the prism and all of this stuff. And then the dad walked in. What are you talking about? What is this? And so she had to explain, and I was like, oh no! And so her dad is gonna do what? He's punishing her by, you can't go back to town. You can't work anymore. You have to stay here with your sister. You have to work with me all day, every day. Do that. So she lost touch with Ray and Sam and her boss, Louisa, and the library, all of these things. So she's working at home, and it's really sad. And then later, did you notice that the mom tried to talk to Thea and she just walked out to ignore her mom, because she was like, you could have let me have it, and you chose to let him punish me. Oh, thank you. Yes, Sadie loves to sit on my lap when I'm reading, and it's just, she feels like a weighted blanket and it's just very, very comfortable, so it's fine. But so like we're reading chapter 14, no, 15 maybe, and they noticed the truck like coming, right? And Thea recognizes who it is, and then I was like, oh, it's Sam. And then the next chapter is talking about Ohio, and I was like, no, go back. And then the next chapter talks about like her parents met Sam and Ray. But before that, when her mom found the first book, she did not find the second book because it was hidden really good. So she was teaching her sister ASL in the book. Oh, that was hard to read. Where it said, I know that the book is not enough, but it was all I had. I don't know a lot of sign, but Amelia said, you know enough. You can teach me what you know. And so she was teaching her little words. So I thought it was interesting. I'm not disagreeing with Ray that it's best to learn ASL from a deaf teacher, not from a book, not from a hearing teacher. Okay, I understand. But if your only choice is to learn, if there's no deaf teachers around, learn how you can. You don't learn everything. You won't really learn the deaf culture. But you can at least start learning. So I thought that was a little bit. What'd you say? So you said some learning is better than nothing. Yeah. But when she said, I only had the book, that's all I had to learn. And I was like, I just want to cry for Thea. I did like how Thea was practicing her on her own at night when everyone went to bed. So she was practicing in the dark, finger spelling. No one was helping you. No one was practicing with you, finger spelling. And then she practiced with her sister a little bit. So I felt like she's always alone in this journey. Ray is elsewhere, so when he arrived, well, so chapter 17 was when Sam and Ray drove, because chapter 19 was Ellie. But it was, I think Sam and Ray could really see how her dad was, and they kept trying to interact and get him to let Thea, like he said, she's an asset to the community, and she was just like, I've never been that before. And I was like, oh, sorry. Before that, the dad told him, I know who you are, but I don't appreciate you distracting my daughter. And then after that, he said, your daughter is really an asset to the community. We need her. We need her back. Like, come on. No, I need her here. And then Ray signed, okay. Okay. And her parents noticed. Yes. So she's gonna get in more trouble. I typed up, I said, my thoughts. When I read that chapter, I said, that makes me want to dive into the book and meet and hug Thea and take her with me and help. I can help you. Yeah. So after they go, they shoo Sam and Ray away. Thea tries to find a way to give her papers to the phone number. Yeah, Ray gave her a phone number. So she was trying to look for a phone. I don't have a phone. Maybe. So she was looking. She found a secret phone. And that was hypocritical because her dad said, we don't need a phone. Phones are banned. We don't have internet, nothing, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think the phone works. I think he told the mom and Thea that they would have something like if there's an emergency, a way to call. Yeah, I mean, okay. She was just like, she tried to, does it work? No. Does it need parts? Maybe. And later he told her it's not working. To pay the bills. The bill is off for now. They didn't talk about bills. He said that it's not worked for a long time. It's broken. He never said bills. Oh, we ran out of data. I didn't read that part. Okay. If I was thinking, Thea, I'm looking in my father's room and I'm finding something, whatever. Oh, I've got a phone. My parents lied. So my parents did say we have an emergency, but I don't know what kind of emergency they have. Maybe the radio? The dad is endangering them. Yep. They have no access if there's an emergency to anything. Yeah, maybe. Pay as you go phone, but had no money to add more, probably. Oh, but that reminds me, it says it's on page 220, 220. It said, like, it didn't make sense. How could you move your family to a wild rural place and not want to take care of it? I had believed it was all about sufficiency for him. He could do it all alone. He knew how or could teach himself through books and newsletters. Oh, 1 second. But maybe it was worse than that. Maybe he thought he earned it. He deserved what the land had to offer. It was his right to take from the dirt and from the sky, to take everything in the forest. I was like, oh boy. I don't like the dad. That's true. Hope they can't drive because the mom has the car. And then they were getting food from the cafe. So I don't know, how are they getting food now? Are they eating enough? Because she's not working at the cafe now. But her dad seems like to be a prepper for, they had food saved, but they used it all with the flood. Remember, they were saving it, and then it seemed like, why are you saving food? Okay. The idea of his right, deserve, earn, make me think about major white supremacy mindset. Yeah. I agree. So I'm curious, what do you think is going to happen? What are the theories now? And Heather, I know that you know already. You've finished the book. Well, also, we missed talking about this chapter. They try to contact you through giving her papers, the phone number. Her mom took them to the alien watchtower. And she saw her name in the rocks. So she's losing that access to the community. And her mom is still working and bringing home food from the cafe. And she finds a note from her boss there that says, in the basket that says, "Don't give up." So that really touched me. Okay, that started her thought, her questioning more and facing her father, standing up more to her parents, but it still hasn't broken through the wall with them yet. So she's noticing her sister is coughing. So she's coughing more, and she's noticing that her sister has grown up fast and is questioning things too. Both of them are questioning things. So she has her friend from home, from Ohio, that came to visit Ellie, to the town. And the library is full. Oh, that's chapter 20. Yeah. I was like, that's chapter 20. We've not read yet. So what I think will happen after everything is it'll be related to Ray and Sam. Maybe Sam and Ray will be able to help her figure out how to make her sister better. Maybe. She will finally sell someone her dream. But her dream is of a red, sky, like a blood red sky that she is thinking it relates to the dust. That's a scary dream. So with that, if she maybe have a connection and goes back to the weatherman's house. Oh yeah. And is like, hey, I feel like something is gonna happen. How can we figure it out? Something happening. Can you figure that out? So maybe, I don't know. Can we help the town to prepare coming for what's next? So I'm hoping that the rain will come because it is dry. It's a drought. They have to buy water. So maybe that. Hope said, not. Hope said that she thinks maybe something will happen with the dad, like worse than just, yeah, deprivation. Not just that, but like maybe he'll hit or something worse will happen. I think the hint has always been is with her sister is coughing and is sick. And maybe that will wake up her dad to stop being an asshole. Yeah. Yeah. Asshole. Yes, and I also think that she mentioned one of the reasons why they moved was because it was cheap land. Well, they'll fight over the land. So the water is already gone. Someone bought the water. I think chaos will happen. So, excuse me, sorry. At this point in the book, I was still trying to figure out why this story existed. Does that mean it's a bad ending? Well, like, I think we only have like 5 chapters left, right? Yeah. Yeah, we have 5 chapters left. That's it. Okay, no, she said no. It's not a bad ending. Okay. Okay, good. So I know this discussion is a little bit of all over the place. It's not really in order, but it's fine. If you missed your comment or you want to add something, just let us know your thoughts. So again, what we're discussing is dust. Chapters 14 to 19. Next week we'll be discussing 20 to 25. And that'll be the end of dust. If you've not voted yet, it is open till Friday, right? Friday night. So there's a voting on Discord. So if you've joined DEAFinitely Readers, the voting is there. It's only going to be on Discord this time. It was getting confusing trying to add and combine both. So there's 41 hours left to vote. And so there's 3 choices. Dusk or Dawn, and it's by E.J. Roman. It is a sapphic romance, a vampire human romance, right? Okay. The second one is The Right Sign. You've by Nia Arthurs. And if this is a Black author, she is hearing. So this is a deaf author. Non-binary. And this one is a Black hearing author. And the last one is Starfall, which is a sci-fi. It's not really romance. It's YA. I don't know if they're hearing or deaf author, but this one seemed smaller, a smaller book. It's only 120 pages. It seems short. These two, they had more. And like next month is technically, it's romance because of Valentine's Day, but also it is Black History Month, so we wanted to have that option. So if you've joined the Discord, you can vote there. There's 41 hours left, and there's links so you can read the descriptions of the book. If you've been here for a little bit of time, you will know that Desi and I have talked about The Right Sign. We did not read it on with the club, but it was a great representation for a deaf character. It's one of the first ones that we really connected with and found. And so that was why we wanted to add it, and also we knew for sure it was a good representation and also had Black character and a Black author, and we wanted to have that option. And then we wanted to have another, not just female male love interest, and wanted to have something else as an option. And it's a vampire. And it sounds interesting. So, and then the last one, some people may not want a romance book, so we gave one more option, and that was the 3 choices for next month. So go vote. If you've not voted yet, go. What'd you say? I said all 3 are good choices. It's really hard to decide. I mean, I've not voted yet because I probably will be voting tomorrow. Like, the hard thing is I really want people to read The Right Sign, but also, like, I kind of maybe want the vampire one. I don't know. That's hard. Okay, 8 messages. Hope commented on about the books. Dust, she said, whew, the writing is very immersive. I can see and taste and feel and hear the dust. Yes. Yes. Hi, lovely Lo. I don't know which part you were happy about, but I am happy that you're here. Oh. Follow us here on Instagram, and if you want to join our ASL book club, come and join. We're on Discord. You can find us, our links in our link trees. And it's been a moment, so I'm sure most people know like who we are, like on here. Hope said, I'm sick of all the romance ones we're reading. Is this okay? It's not really romance, but there is some romance. You're right. It's a little bit. Maybe we need to change it up more often. Yeah, maybe. So my first name is Carrie, but my pen name, because I am trying to publish my book this year, is KT James. And this is Desiree. So we both, she's deaf and she is normally voice off and just signing. I do voice interpreting for her, and I am hard of hearing and I am simcomming, which I know is kind of controversial. But it's okay. It lets people hearing and deaf understand. So that. Yes. Okay. We did want to, we do different genres, but we oftentimes have a hard time finding books other than romance. True. But earlier this year, last year, we did read a sci-fi, and that was okay. I mean, it was pretty good. It was no real romance, but it was weird. Everyone was like fucking and but my point, yeah, we noticed we don't have a lot of action that have deaf characters, and we don't have like fantasy. Now, the book that I'm writing is fantasy, but also it has a romance subplot. It does, but it's a YA book. Um, if we find a book that has a deaf character that is not romance, most times it's middle grade, which means it's like 12 years old or younger. Most times it's middle grade. Some YA books are not romance ones. So the age that we've been finding most often that are not romance are like middle grade and YA books. Now, the other option that we could do where it's not really romance is we do have some options like a deaf and hard of hearing author, but not have deaf characters in the book. Like Sarah Novick has is Girl at War, does not have a deaf character, but herself is deaf. What'd you say? That is historical. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's historical fiction. And then also we have some like poetry. There's also some like nonfiction, like biographies that we could read. And maybe, Desi, we need to do a vote after this vote is done and just see if they'd be interested in that kind of book to maybe limit some of the romance, because that's the hard part is, and like we're searching every week, we try to find one, or more often than that, oh, that's such a good book. It's very, very, very subplot. Like she goes on one date and that's it. So that would be a choice. There's not romance yet. I think there's more books in this series. It's not, each book is like grouped. Like it's this own book. You don't have to read one to understand the next one, but it follows an interpreter who becomes more like a cop. So it follows her, and she is a coda and was raised in an all deaf family, and she's the only hearing. Paige Nordsta. Paige is her name. So there is someone in your home, but you can't hear them. There's another one in 27 Days. I don't think that one has a deaf character, but she's a hard of hearing author. Her other one, the Silence Between Us, that one is a YA romance book. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we could do the daisy chain reaction. That would be a good one. I need to write my review. Maybe the next month as a vote. So we're thinking about March. March. I was like, where's February? Where's February? And then I realized we're already voting. I think I'm tired. Maybe this one, or poetry, or the second book of Your Blood, My Bones, that kind of thing, or The Silent House. The Silent House. Or if you have a suggestion not on the list, you can still let us know. Yeah. So the interesting thing, so I found a series, and would I recommend this series to everyone? Probably not. It's a why choose romance, a reverse harem. And the girl is not deaf, but her brother is deaf, and they sign. And he is, I wouldn't say he's like a main character, because there's 5 like love interest. And it's an academy book, so like she's 18, so it is a YA book, and it's like 5, and it's like a mafia why choose romance at an academy. Anyway, I would not say that I would recommend it to everyone, but I was very surprised because I was not expecting a deaf character in the book when I started the book. And then and there was a mystery behind everything. But then I had to finish the series because it had a deaf character, right? It was a really, really quick read. Like, I think there was 3 books altogether, maybe 4 books, but they were like, it did not take me long. Mostly because I like skimmed it. I was like, yeah. Anyways, have we read Fourth Wing? Yes, we have. Our in-person book club did Fourth Wing and Iron Flame together last year when Iron Flame released. Last year? But yeah, I think so, March. Yeah. Do I have Onyx Storm? Yes. My Amazon did not say that it was shipping, so I canceled that order and I drove to my local bookstore. It was Barnes and Noble, and I got it there. Have I started it yet? No. I was waiting until the other girls in the group got their book. Ooh, did you see that? Amazon has the rights to the TV show. They already decided where it would be now? I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Yay! Yes. But yeah. I will get my book tomorrow. It'll arrive tomorrow. I don't plan on reading it right away. I'm going to wait and hold it because everyone is already reading it. They're already on TikTok live, already posting, and I'm avoiding it. I'm like, nope, can't see. I'm not going to look. And so far, no spoilers from me. I just scroll past it. But my point is, if you're reading it and you're done, and you go, oh no, I read it already, I'm going to hold off. I don't want to read it and then be like, I think it's going to be like 2 years before the next one. So are you going to hold for 2 years? No, a little bit longer. stop posting about it. Ooh, Hope. I don't know how they'll do with the Scots language. It's interesting. Hope. Yeah, there were some plot holes. There was a lot of romance. But I think that's why some people really like it. If you've read Fourth Wing, wait a minute. My dog is in the way. Okay, so if you've read Fourth Wing and you really like it, a good book, especially for next month, because it is a Black author and a Black character, The Blood Trials. And it has dragons and it has magic and it's about a resistance and a revolution. It's really good. Will be honest, I preferred this one more than Fourth Wing. But I did like that Fourth Wing had the disability representation and the deaf character. So I want them to like combine. Oh, this one has less like romance. I don't know. I think it was just a subplot. I don't remember now that I'm thinking about it. So, and this is only a duology, the second book. So there's only 2 books. So there's no romance. It's just dragons and then magic and then resistance or revolution. So it was cool. Heather said, I need another book. I need to do another count of my books because I have so many. And you wonder why I've not finished editing and have the book ready for beta readers quite yet, right? You wonder why? It's because I read and I don't do my writing. It is The Blood Trials, and it's by N.E. Davenport. It says, a gift and a secret both could get her killed. This actually released April of 2020. I think. It's before Fourth Wing. Oh, okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? It says, so blending fantasy and science fiction, fast-paced action that with loyalty and rebellion in which a young Black woman must survive deadly trials in a racist and misogynistic society to become an elite warrior. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, bye. I normally work from home. We don't have snow days. Every time is a work from home. Hey, Sadie. Okay. last minute things? Are you ready? You seem like you're ready to go. Desi? Yes, soon. Almost 11. I need to get up at 6 and take my daughter to school. Oh, it's 11? Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that. We started late today. Okay. Next week, chapters 20 to 25, we're going to plan on here because, yeah. We will announce February's book as soon as it closes. It'll be announced on Discord automatically, and then I'll add it to the Instagram page and Fable too. Okay, so these are the 3 choices. So the third one has an audiobook. The right sign has an audiobook too. Yeah, I think so. Oh, no, it's Kindle and physical book. So that's the only one that has the audiobook. Okay. That's okay. All right. Oh, Heather, I hope you feel better. Oh, and The Witch Collector. I want to read that one. It's been on my list, like my personal list, for a little bit of time. But I struggled to find where I could buy it, but I think it's out again now. I think they changed like publishers, maybe. Anyway. Okay. Yes. So we don't know if we have TikTok again. So that was a crazy 2 days week. That is banned, not banned. So now we don't know, we have no idea how long we will have TikTok. So we're still trying to figure out what the plan B would be. So we tried it on Discord. It really didn't work with live. We're trying to figure out YouTube, if that's gonna work. So Instagram, maybe our best bet for now. If TikTok is banned again, but we'll let you know. I have an email into YouTube because I did get 50 subscribers, so I'm gonna go through that list of the 50 subscribers, and if you subscribed, you'll be added to get maybe to get the coffee mug, and it's the green one, not the pink. The pink is mine, and it says happy reading. So I will go through that list probably this weekend. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna do it today. I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. It'll be this weekend, and I'll go through the list and I will do a little spinny thing, to pick the winner, and then I will contact you and send you that coffee cup if you subscribed. So I do have 50 subscribers, and I'm supposed to have the ability to do a live on the iPad or the mobile app, whatever, but it's not working. And so I'm trying to figure out what's happening. It's very frustrating. Yeah. So I did set up a Twitch account. Yes. I did set one up. I have not tried anything yet because I set one up last week right after the ban happened, and I just got overwhelmed with setting it up, so I've not tested it, but it is an option because like the streaming is normal there. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. So that might be an option because I have it. We liked like TikTok and YouTube because people who are not in the book club can watch, join, and maybe find the book club. Discord, I like the idea of maybe like practicing or having smaller group like chats, but not for recording or for like full chapter discussions there. Maybe the end of the month ones, we can start with that. It was very denied, like everyone needs to be on camera so that we can sign or whatever, because you couldn't see the chat with the video and it was just block. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm ready to go, but you can keep going. No, girl. Sorry. Thank you for the advice about like where we should go, but you know, it'll be on Discord. We'll let everybody know, and if we test again on YouTube, we'll let you know if I can get access to that. Obviously, we will keep you guys up to date. But next week we have chapters 20 to 25. It's going to be the end of the book. We're going to be here as long as TikTok is available. For now. Yeah. Okay, so happy Wednesday night or day, depending on where you are, and happy reading. Yes, thank you. Good night. See you guys.